Hello, welcome to this video. In the last video, we have completed the first task of creating resource groups and deploy resources to Azure to a resource group. And we have deployed a disk, and that's what you are seeing to the right side of this window. In this video, we're going to move resources between the resource group. That is a task we're going to complete. So let's just go down there. And again, I'm going to give you this link in my YouTube video. So over here, move resources between resource group. That is a task we are going to complete. So over here, search and select the resource group. So over here in the Azure, I'm going to search and look for the resource groups. Right there it is. And then you see I have only one resource group, and you see that over here. So you're going to click on that one. And every time you go to a resource group, it starts with overview. Actually, any resources, they actually start with the overview blade. Once you go there, overview blade of the resource group. In the list of the resource group resources, select the entry representing the newly created disk. So that is the one we have created in the previous video, and we're going to select that one. And what we need to do, we're going to move this one, okay? And the move operations are usually located either at the very top, I don't see it here, and right there, okay? So if you are doing it in a bigger screen like this, and you will see the move operation, it will show up in this big list. But if you're working in a smaller window like the one that I'm using for the video, you gotta come down there, okay, and click on this ellipsis to find the move button, okay, or move blade. So what do, you click on the move, it will give you three more options: move to another resource group, move to another subscription, or move to another region. So for the lab, what you see on the left hand side, it says move to another resource group. So let's just click on that one. So now this method allows you to move multiple resources at the same time. For this one, where you moving only one, but if you wanted, you can move multiple resources at the same time with this technique. Now in this one, we already have the resource group, so I'm going to create a new resource group where we're going to move, and this time we're going to use the AZ104 resource group that we're going to create. Hit OK. So see what is gonna happen. Okay, so this is gonna move that resource from this existing resource group, which is the source resource group, and it's gonna move to the new resource group that we are creating, and which is called the target resource group. Now hit next. And over here it's just checking and going through some validation. Let me make this a little bit bigger here. So you can see it's going through the validation, and the validation is now almost done. So checking whether these resources can be moved, this may take a few minutes. If you have whole bunch of resources, it actually could really take a little bit of time, because it checks for region compatibility, whether there are other dependent resources that you have to move together with this one, things like that. So what I'll do, I'm just going to pause the video for a second. As soon as this validation is done, we are going to move the resource, and then we'll continue to the last task, okay, which we will do in another video. So here they're saying, hey, do not wait to move to complete, but instead proceed to the next task. The move might take about 10 minutes over there, okay? You can determine that the operation was completed by monitoring activity log entries of the source or target resource group. Revisit this step once you're done with the last task. So what's they're suggesting, you come down here, click on over there, and you can look at the activity log, monitor it, and see when this is completely done. For us, we have time. We're gonna pause, and let's come back in a few minutes. All right, we are here. Looks like the resource is ready to be moved. So I'm gonna click on the next button over here. And this is the last page over here. It is asking me, hey, I understand the tools and scripts associated with moved resources will not work until I update them to the new resource IDs. Yeah, I do understand that now. And let's click on move. So now the move process has now started. And if you see, moving this disk from resource group RG1 in subscription to the resource group RG2 in subscription is ongoing at the moment. So let's pause for another minute, and then we'll close the video. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back. So it took about 6 minutes to move the resource, and if you see over here, it says moving the resource is now complete. So now we can come back over here, go to the resource groups and refresh. So what you see here is we created this resource group in the first video. In this video, we created this resource group as part of the movement. And then if I go in there, I should not see any disk, and it's suspected there is nothing there. Go back to the resource group, come down here, and you see the disk that we created in the other resource group now showed up in the new resource group. So what we have done, we have demonstrated how to move resources from one resource group to another. And look at that, it still maintained the region. Okay, so there are other ways to change. Again, just remember, you can select the resource that you want to move, go down there, move. Here are the different types of move you can do. Play with it and have fun. And let's meet me in the next video. Well, let's look at implementing resource locks. Thank you.